One of the favorite things I do every year is I come down to the Wizard Academy here in Austin, Texas. I'm coming to you live from the Engelbrecht House. I'm here with my dear friend and my agent for Zigzag Principle, the infamous one and only Michael Drew. Thanks, man. Michael has put more books on the New York bestseller list than anyone you're ever going to find in the world. He's totally a rock star. But the reason I wanted to interview and talk to Michael today is specifically about the pendulum. About the pendulum principle, which is one of the most profound teachings and learnings, and actually it's a book that you and Roy H. Williams just did, and I wanted to have Michael share for a minute and a half or 2 minutes about the overall and arching principles of the pendulum. Michael Drew.
So Roy H. Williams, the founder of the Wizard Academy, owns the fourth largest advertising agency in North America for buying radio advertising. He's in marketing and advertising. I'm a book marketer in marketing and advertising. And as marketers, we wanted to give our clients a competitive advantage. How do you give your clients a competitive advantage? By being able to predict what their customers want before they know that they want that. How do you do that? Well, Blackie Sherrod, the famous sports writer from the Chicago Tribune, stated, "The reason history must repeat itself is because we pay so little attention to it the first time." And King David said in the Book of Solomon, "The thing that has been is that which shall be, and that which shall be, and that which is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It has already been of old time which was before us." So what this told us was that history must repeat itself. And in fact, when we look at it scientifically, we know that there's something called chaos theory, which basically states that there are patterns larger than what the left hemisphere of the brain can comprehend. If this is true in science, and it seems to be true from a spiritual and historical standpoint, this must accurately be correct. So what we did is we went back and researched the last 3,000 years of recorded Western civilization looking for a pattern. And indeed, we did find a pattern. We found that society changes every 40 years from a cycle of me, about the individual, about big dreams, about pushing to be bigger and better than who you are, to a cycle of we, about community, about doing what's best for society as a whole. Not about big dreams, but rather about small actions. And we shift predictably every 40 years from a me to a we, or from a we to a me. And interestingly enough, the changes that we can all see happening all around us in society it shifted back in 2003 as we went from a cycle of me to a cycle of we.
So just to articulate what he said, he just gave you a crystal ball, he just gave you palm leaves telling exactly what phase of development that we're in. When I discovered this, it was like, aha, ta-da! It was instant insight to understand the behaviors and patterns that are going on. So Michael could go just a little bit more on this, but indeed, what he gave you is a predictor on the behavior and the cultural elements of what's taking place right now.
Absolutely. So what we're able to do, once we know that we've moved from me to we know how to change the way that we hire employees. We know how to change the way that we communicate and market to our audiences. We even know what types of products and services need to be created. And one of the reasons that we're in a recession today is because of the shift from me to we. And this happens every time we shift from me to we. We have an economic downturn because businesses and governments are that get heavily into one cycle, in this case, me cycle, they think that way, they act that way, and when society shifts to a we, it takes longer for businesses and for governments to shift. And so we always go into a recession and we have economic issues. And it takes the youth of society to come in and give new business models each and every time to replace the old business models to be able to rejuvenate the economy, so to speak.
Awesome. So Michael, I have 2 last questions. First of all, is I want you to quickly say what my viewers can expect to see in the next 10 years. Just quickly a pattern that they're going to see in the next 10 years.
What we're going to see is a movement. What happens in the Pendulum presentation and book is we describe a sociological and psychological shift from me to we or we to me. And there's a beauty in me and there's a beauty in we. And what happens is we always take, as human beings, a good thing too far. And as we're now 10 years into a we cycle, we're starting to move into taking we, or community-based mentality, too far. So we're moving into a 20-year microcycle of I'm okay, you're screwed up. We call this the witch hunt cycle because throughout the history of mankind, if there's ever been a witch hunt, it's always happened in this next 20-year time frame. 80 years ago in Europe, we had Mussolini, Stalin, and Hitler in Europe. And in the United States, we had Joseph McCarthy And we had Japanese intern camps 80 years before that. In the United States, we had the Civil War and the Second French Revolution. 80 years before that, we had the American Revolution, the First French Revolution, Bloody Mary.
So now you've depressed us all.
all these things have happened in the cycle. So we're headed into the cycle of I'm okay or screwed up. From a business standpoint, this is really important because what we're taught in a me cycle is that we want to define what we stand for. But in the next 20 years, what's most important is not defining what we stand for, but rather stating what we stand against.
Well said. All right. Great information. So my second question is give us the URL of your website, and let me strongly encourage everyone. This is one of the 10 must-read books that you should have in your library. This gives you indeed the predictor of what's going to happen and helps you make some level of sanity of the cycle that we have before us.
Well, in fact, I'll give you the URL. It's penduluminaction.com. www.pendulumination.com. Penduluminaction.com. And when they buy the book, we're actually only asking them to cover the shipping and handling for the book, $7. They get the book for free. We're going to give them a copy of the full pendulum presentation on a membership site for free when they buy the book, as well as some other training. So they simply have to pay for the shipping and handling of the book. They get the book, they get the pendulum presentation, and some other training.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Michael. You're the man.
Thanks, Rich.